Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 really is the game that keeps on giving, because even when we don't want the new characters and we don't want the new Super Souls, we may actually want the characters' new skills that come in a DLC pack. So when we actually get free DLC packs with new skills without any characters coming alongside them, that is monumental news for us. New super attacks that we can add onto our characters and just play as much as we want is obviously one of the most fun aspects of the game, no matter how you slice it. So we're getting new skills in, future content packs, especially in the newest Future Saga Chapter 4, where we might potentially only get one character. But let's talk about the previous free DLC skills that actually got added to Xenoverse 2. Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Doja here, back to more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and this time I actually wanted to talk about the free DLC skills of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And I don't need to go online to show these, but you guys can actually see I have some of them equipped now. These released like nearly 10 years ago at this point, and obviously they've all changed massively. A good example is how Wild Hunt didn't used to do this when it came out. It used to be a close range only skill. You could still use it from a guarding position, which was obviously extremely golden, but it wasn't as good as it was today, where you can kind of just use it in the middle of any combo and get massive profits out of it. So obviously all of these skills have changed quite a bit over the game's lifespan, which is, obviously going to happen when a game keeps updating. And if anything, I would like more skills to update like these skills. A good example is that even stuff like Jumping Energy Wave, which we all thought was the Ultra Instinct Goku, like, big energy attack. So without keeping us at bay too much, I want to just talk about what all of the free DLC skills do. And reminder, guys, this is not all of the free DLC skills. We even have some ultimate attacks and some other super attacks I want to talk about later. But starting from probably the worst one, Menacing Flare. Menacing Flare is going to look like it does decent damage now, but that's because I'm pretty sure they have buffed the damage of this move several times over. And if we're being honest, guys, this damage isn't that high. Remember, the damage ceiling for the game is just absolutely ridiculous now. Because if I show off another move like Focus Flash, you're going to be like, oh, never mind, that's what good damage it looks like. So Menacing Flare's damage isn't very great. First of all, the projectile's kind of slow. The startup is slow. The projectile isn't very quick. And then its special gimmick is that if you miss, you do a teleport kick, but it's not even that quick. It does the exact same damage as the projectile, and if anything, it's probably worse because you're open for much longer than if you just missed the blast. So I have no idea. Jumping Energy Wave was also pretty rough when the game first came out. It was just really inconsistent and only had like one hitbox overall, and it wasn't a very good move. But now I want to say Jumping Energy Wave is actually one of the stronger moves in the game. It's really slept on because it's an old skill that everyone still thinks is bad. But this is a really easy move to put in like unvanishable combos where the enemy will not be expecting you to just use it. So yeah, pretty scary, but Jumping Energy Wave is actually pretty deadly in combos. Now I think a really good example is combos like this, where you can do an entirely unvanishable Jumping Energy Wave. He did not go the whole way up, but yeah. Let's see it. We can do this. Yeah, Jumping Energy Wave is super deadly now because all the combos you can put in are just really, really good. But that's enough about Jumping Energy Wave. Now onto the two moves that people actually regard as extremely good from the first free skill DLC pack. Focus Flash and Wild Hunt. Now Focus Flash, if I recall, probably hasn't received many buffs or nerfs over the game's lifespan because it's always just done great damage. It's just a really good like long range super attack that you can pretty much use in any combo. You can just do any kind of knockback or combo finish and then immediately throw out the Focus Flash skill, which is obviously, golden because yeah. There's not a lot to say about Tail Slice as a skill overall. It received one change in the game's entire lifespan, and I genuinely don't even remember what that change is. It's not even like it's a particularly quick move. It's meant to get through enemy guards, but no one's going to be blocking long enough to actually get hit by this. Its main benefit, I would say, is in any situation where you are punching the enemy and they vanish and you do a back hit, and you want to get away from the potential counterattack that could come from either you missing your back hit or your back hit being perfect blocked. You can immediately use Tail Slicer to punish any enemy, because it does stun long enough that it would actually hit people in most situations. So anytime you think you're about to be hit and you just want to get some distance from an enemy as well as get through any potential guard mashing, you would use Tail Slicer. The main problem is obviously the game's online lag is probably going to make a really quick projectile that doesn't have a lot of priority just phase through the enemy rather than actually do damage to them. So keep that in mind. It's probably not going to actually combo. Another thing I'm pretty sure I forgot to say about Jumping Energy Wave and Focus Flash, you can just do a mid boost, which is obviously golden because they come out faster when you do them mid boost. And as many people have seemingly forgotten, Friezas aren't the first time skills we got. We did get Supreme Power time skills, also entirely free, by the way, with the character. Now, obviously, I don't feel like I need to explain what all of these do again. They're basically just another version of Frieza skills. She does have more skills than Frieza because she has 2 unique ultimates and 3 super attacks, rather than 2 super attacks and 1 unique ultimate. But Holy Inscription basically let you just power up the other moves, and obviously all we have to do is finish a Holy Inscription combo, and the moves would literally just be at full power right away. Obviously, I think her cannon is worse than Frieza's cannon, because Frieza's literally paralyzes, but she does have Holy Temporal Wave, which is such a god tier move, because it just sets a time off when the enemy will get stunned and take a good chunk of damage. And this is really good in especially situations where you're like, I don't know, you're being comboed by certain skills. The enemy is maybe going ape. Enemy could potentially be going ape on you, and you're just like, oh man, I can't wait for that skill to finish its countdown so that way I can break out of a combo. You can also just use this skill in a combo, like anytime you just punch the enemy, you can just release it. And it's just a really good skill overall. Ah, there we go. Yeah, you can have multiple out time. I think you can have a maximum of 3 outs, but like, let's just troll and only put 2 out. Where's the second one? He grabbed me. Okay, if that wasn't a grab, we would have landed 2. But yeah, I still love Holy Temporal, right? It's actually such a god tier skill. People just have completely forgotten that Supreme Cav time skills exist, though. I don't think people even remember that there's a pretty good glitch of time-space impact where you can actually freeze enemies in it. I think so long as you're locked off to an enemy as you're firing it, you can have really unique mechanics of it where they just stay frozen and you can combo other moves into it. Oh, then we also have Godly Kronos Cannon, obviously. This skill is kind of weaker, but it's still pretty good. It basically just means you have a really strong super attack you can release at any point in a combo, which I think is just kind of pretty good, because anytime you knock back an enemy, you can just take away like half a health bar real quick. Or if you see even scenarios where, like, I don't know, you're fighting an enemy or something, and your enemy's like fighting back and they vanish, and you're vanishing alongside them, you can get pretty good scenarios where you like vanish away from an attack and then immediately release it and then combo into it, which is just really, really damn strong. And again, all of these skills are free. They released of all of these unique benefits and gimmicks, and they're all free skills. And now onto the final batch of free skills, which I think most people would have forgot, because I think people just assumed we got these skills the same time we got the character, when we didn't. We got him like years after we got the character. The final set of skills we did get was actually Ultra Instinct Goku's free DLC skills. A lot of you guys might remember that during the day in Xenoverse 2, we could not actually equip Ultra Instinct Goku skills. The character did come out, he did have his unique skills, but we couldn't have them. Obviously, the skill that people wanted the most was Soaring Fist, because Godly Display was already kind of falling off, because the laggier the game got, the more inconsistent the move got. Like, Godly Display is such a terrifying skill. Terrifying in the fact that it doesn't work. But Soaring Fist is an awesome skill. Everyone knows that every Ultra Instinct Goku would do a big combo to you, and then he would just do one Soaring Fist, and then he would just continue the combo. Soaring Fist is a spooky, spooky skill. It's also got the power to be done once, and then to fully charge it to really maximize the damage. Soaring Fist is just a terrifying skill. There's not much to say about it because it's just so good. It's just a really quick, long-ranged, high-damage skill that can combo into itself. So yeah, not a lot to say about Soaring Fist. It's just really damn strong. When a move is so good, the only thing you could say about it is that it's really damn good. We also did get Divine Kamehameha. Now, the weird thing about Divine Kamehameha is that this move didn't release alongside another character. They just randomly was like, oh, we didn't give them the sliding Kamehameha. Let's just put it in the game just on its own, and then also put it on UI Goku's second preset, which I'm really grateful of, because Divine Kamehameha is one of the coolest skills ever. It's basically just what if you could have a fully charged Kamehameha right away for 2 bars a key. And not only that, this move genuinely came with a lot of really good gimmicks when it first dropped. A good example is, first of all, it's a fully charged Kamehameha that has a charge in it, basically. You could effectively use it as like a close range skill as well, just because it would travel towards the enemy. And not only that, you could also make it travel faster by giving it this movement technique where you can actually dodge in the middle of charging the enemy, which would allow you to actually avoid super attacks or other kind of weird gimmicks going on. It also allows you to actually use the move at close range for surprise attacks, because you can get right up to the enemy's face and then dodge at the last second to appear behind them or appear towards the side, and the enemy just wouldn't be ready for that, because it's just really cool. Also, because there's so many unique gimmicks that go into this move. So a good example would be, I guess, Jiren's Infinity Flare here. This skill, as you guys would know, has mountains of super armor. It has super armor the whole way through. But if I use even the blast of this, it just goes straight through. You don't have to actually get near the enemy. The projectile itself just goes through super armor. So god tier anti-super armor skill. But as you guys would know, the icing on the cake of this move isn't that it goes through super armor, it does all of this other unique stuff. The icing on the cake for this move is actually the fact that you get a unique animation when it interacts with a projectile ki blast. So, boom! Yeah! And obviously, depending on the range of when the ki blast connects onto you, depends on how different this animation becomes. Boom! Yeah! That's really, really cool. The damage of the skill doesn't change, but the move still does have its super armor breaking capabilities when you use it to counter a ki blast super. Not to mention, again, the animation is just really cool. I think everyone will just agree that Divine Kamehameha, one of the best skills that they've ever added to the game, because it's literally just a full charge Kamehameha. You can also just release it early, which just really helps because, yeah, imagine having access to a full damage Kamehameha whenever you want. You don't have to go through the pain of charging up a full power Kamehameha, which you guys know you can't combo a fully charged Kamehameha, but you can combo Divine Kamehameha into a knockback. So that's really, really cool. All right, enough Divine Kamehameha glazing. Let's actually get to the other moves because Divine Kamehameha is so magical. I could spend bro, this move literally deserves its own video. That's how unique and special this move is. But well, let's just end it there. All right, let's talk about the other moves. And some of you guys might actually remember data input was a move that actually put fear in the hearts of many men as it was being teased, because we were hearing the whole time that data input was basically just Ultra Instinct. Now, data input was the Ultra Instinct before Ultra Instinct, but it was really overhyped. It came out and it was pretty bad. But now that we have the actual Ultra Instinct transformation, if you combine that alongside data input, you do actually have a pretty nice combo going on of being able to dodge both super attacks and normal punches, because data input would trigger for the super attacks and Ultra Instinct would trigger for the normal punches. So data input and Ultra Instinct actually do stack kind of well together because you can dodge super attacks now. Only strike super attacks. You can't dodge ki blast super attacks. So keep that in mind. And Ultra Instinct actually does go behind data input. You can't use the Ultra Instinct counter if you're using the data input dodge. So you'll notice that the data input dodge has this animation. I can't Ultra Instinct counter if that happens, but I can Ultra Instinct counter if the regular Ultra Instinct animation plays. So anytime Jiren goes for a grab, yeah, it triggers because data input does not dodge grabs. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. And obviously lastly is Godly Display. Godly Display is a monster move in the fact that there's a ton of damage depending on how much ki you have. Its biggest downside is that online the move basically doesn't work. But if you're not playing the game online, Godly Display is one of the strongest moves in the game, straight up. It just does so much damage. Or if you can get a hard knockdown before using it, for example, a heavy stamina break, or if you just end your combo in some sort of like knockdown like this, then obviously the move wouldn't drop because the enemy wouldn't be moving by the time you actually get over to them, which makes it basically guaranteed connect. So yeah, Godly Display, last move on this list. There are other free skills, obviously, like again, you could say hits skills, but those are also part of a mental pack skill. The same with Whis' skills, Bardock's skills, Android 16 skills. I don't really want to include skills that are part of a mental pack or that came with like another character like that. Supreme Cat of Time I'm only giving that to because she was also a free character, so her skills being free DLC kind of matches up. You didn't have to do a Parallel Quest or an Expert mission or a raids to get her skills. You just got her skills when the character released, which, you know, is nice. That's good. So, yeah, those are all of the free skills of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and I think that's a pretty solid place to end the video, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed, then obviously, again, please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, as it greatly supports the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, fellas. I do love you all. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, and peace. Bye-bye.